Click by Kayla Miller. This graphic novel is a very quick read. Olive is in 5th grade. She is friends with lots of different kids at school. When the teacher announces the annual 5th grade variety show, it seems like everyone has partners and ideas for the show, but no one asks Olive to join their act. She feels left out. With some help from her Aunt Molly and videos of old TV variety shows, she finally figures out what she can do to be part of the show. A Dash of Trouble is book 1 in the Love, Sugar, Magic series by Anna Mariano. Leonora, called Leo, is the youngest of 5 girls and doesn't think it's fair that she is always left out of things because she is too young. Her family owns the Love and Sugar Bakery, or in Spanish, Amor y Azúcar Panadería, in Rose Hill, Texas, and always hosts the Dia de los Muertos, Day of the Dead, festival on November 1st. Her older sisters are allowed to miss school on Halloween to help bake and prepare. Leo is surprised when the school bus drives past the bakery and it is closed and dark. She skips the Halloween parade and party and goes into the empty bakery. It's not long before she hears her family arrive and she hides in a large cabinet. She is shocked to learn that her aunt, mother, and sisters are brujas, witches of Mexican ancestry, and they pour a little sweet magic into everything they bake. She wonders if she also has magical abilities. The next day, during the chaos of the festival, she sneaks into the bakery office and discovers an old recipe book that includes magical recipes and takes it home. Her best friend Caroline has a problem and Leo wants to help her, so she decides to use one of the recipes from the book. Of course, things don't turn out the way she expected, and she is in more than just a dash of trouble. Strongheart, Wonder Dog of the Silver Screen is by Candace Fleming and Eric Roman, and both the author and illustrator are from Illinois. This book is fiction, but it's based on real people, dogs, and events. In the 1920s, silent movies were very popular. Director Larry Trimble came up with the idea of finding a dog to be the next big movie star. He searched across the U.S. and Europe to find just the right one. As a puppy, Etzel had played with his brother and sister until he was taken away from them and put into a cement cell. He was a handsome, purebred German shepherd. The Berlin police force wanted to make him into a fierce guard dog. He was taught to obey or else. He also learned that other dogs could be cruel and that he needed to fight back. When Larry arrived at the Berlin police station, Etzel burst through a window and rushed at him, prepared to attack. But he stopped. The two stared at each other, and Larry decided that this dog would be his star. It took time for them to learn to trust each other, and for the dog to learn to relax and play, but eventually it seemed that they could understand and communicate with one another. Jane Murfin, the screenwriter, came up with the name Strongheart, and they prepared to shoot the first movie on location. Strongheart wasn't just doing tricks on command. It seemed that he understood what they wanted and was actually acting. The film was extremely popular, and Strongheart became a celebrity. He starred in several movies until he was accused of an unthinkable crime. Would they be able to prove his innocence, or would Strongheart spend the rest of his life behind bars? Max and the Midknights by Lincoln Pierce. This is a humorous graphic novel set in the Middle Ages. Max wants to be a knight, but instead is an apprentice troubadour traveling around with Uncle Budrick as he sings, badly, and plays the lute to entertain people. After being robbed, they come to the city of Byjovia, where Budrick was born. It used to be a friendly place, ruled by King Conrad the Kind. He was beloved by everyone except his evil brother Ghastly, who tried to kill him. 5 years ago, King Conrad went off to fight a beast that was terrorizing the countryside and never returned. Cruel King Ghastly now rules the kingdom. After threatening to arrest them for vagrancy, King Ghastly decides that Budrick can be his fool or court jester. The guards take him to the castle. Max knows that Budrick's life is in danger and wants to rescue him and leave the city. Max is helped by a retired wizard named Mumbling and by 3 other children, Kevin, Millicent, and Simon. They call themselves the Midknights. During their journey, they come up against Fendra, the sorceress of the north, dozens of large flying rats, and a dragon. Stef's Soto Taco Queen is by Jennifer Torres. Estefania Soto's papi is a very good cook and would like to have his own restaurant someday. The family worked hard and scrimped and saved to buy a food truck, which they named Tia Perla. Stef used to be proud of the food truck and was happy to go help her papi when he would set it up at a park or convenience store parking lot. But now that she's in 7th grade, she is embarrassed when her papi brings Tia Perla to pick her up at school, especially when one of the other girls calls her a taco queen and says she smells like tacos. She wishes papi could have a regular job. Then the city proposes new regulations that would be a hardship for all owners of mobile food trucks. Stef is surprised to find herself speaking up on behalf of Tia Perla. This is a mainly light-hearted story about Stef and her friends Arthur and Amanda and their classmates, and is narrated in first person by Stef. Ambrose Deception by Emily Ecton. 3 middle schools in Chicago are each notified that one of their students has been selected to take part in a scholarship competition. They certainly aren't the students that the administration would have chosen. Melissa, Bondi, and Wolf are each given 3 clues to solve. Each leads to a different location in Chicago. They are to solve the clues, take a picture of the answer, and turn them in to Mr. Smith. They were told that the winner would receive a $10,000 scholarship. Melissa and Bondi each work hard to solve their clues and win the competition, while Wolf takes advantage of the free debit card for expenses and access to a car and driver to have fun. Eventually, they figure out that the whole scholarship competition is a scam and decide to work together to figure out what is really going on. It's kind of fun to try to see if you can figure out the answers to the clues before the characters do. Even if you're very familiar with Chicago, only 1 or 2 of the clues are easily recognizable. A few can be found with a little internet searching, while others are quite difficult. Hope in the Holler by Lisa Lewis Tyre. Fair warning, this book is a tearjerker. The story is about 11-year-old Wavy and begins with her mom dying from cancer. It has always been just the 2 of them. Mom had never mentioned any other family. So it is a surprise when someone comes to the cemetery and says she is Wavy's Aunt Samantha Rose and that she has applied to be Wavy's guardian. They drive up the mountain to Conley Holler. The house is in bad shape and surrounded by trash. The inside isn't any better. Still, Wavy is happy to see photos of her mother as a girl and to sleep in the room and bed that were once hers. The wildflowers and mountain scenery are beautiful. Wavy's aunt, uncle, and cousin are not kind to her, and it soon becomes apparent that the only reason Samantha Rose wants to be her guardian is to get her hands on the government checks that are supposed to belong to Wavy. Wavy is doing okay in school and has become good friends with Gilbert and Camille, 2 of the neighborhood kids. Wavy's mom had left the Holler before Wavy was born in hopes of a better life for the 2 of them. Before she died, she left a list of instructions for Wavy that included, "Be brave, Wavy, be. You've got as much right to a good life as anybody. Go find it." With the support of her new friends, Wavy intends to do just that. Power Forward, Zaid Salim Chasing the Dream by Henna Khan. 4th grader Zaid Salim wants to be a basketball star. He's on a developmental team now, but is improving and plans to try out to be on the gold team with his friend Alex. His parents want him to concentrate on his schoolwork and practice the violin. When they learned that Zaid skipped orchestra practice for 2 weeks to play basketball in the gym, they ground him from basketball for 2 weeks. He can't play it, watch games on TV, read about or even talk about basketball. The worst thing is, tryouts are in less than 2 weeks. This is the first book in a series. In addition to basketball, readers also learn a bit about Pakistani American culture. Bob by Wendy Moss and Rebecca Steed. Olivia's mom grew up in Australia, but Livy and her parents and baby sister live in Massachusetts and haven't been to visit Gran in Australia since Livy was 5, about 5 years ago. Livy remembers Gran because they talk on the phone and she came to visit them once, but she doesn't remember anything about Gran's house or her previous visit. until she goes upstairs to the bedroom, opens the closet, and sees Bob. Bob is a short green creature with green skin, and he's wearing a chicken suit that he said Livy made for him when she was there before. 5-year-old Livy had told Bob to stay in the closet, and she would see him again soon. He has been waiting 5 years for her to return. Livy still doesn't really remember, but she is determined to figure out where Bob came from and help him return to his family.